2009, South Africa.
Brazil once more.
The tournament had now settled into a 4-year cycle, taking place 12 months ahead of the FIFA World Cup. Before the 2009 edition in South Africa, the football world was more than a little nervous.
There was a lot of doubts and people saying, even inside our executive committee, it will not be easy, it is perhaps was not the best decision. But the question was, finally, it was a question of trust and confidence. Trust people and they get confidence and they organize this competition.
Were they going to be ready and what was going to be like and all the rest of it. And we had such a phenomenal time in every single way, at the stadiums and the travel. Everything we did at the tournament just worked out so well for us, and it was a really enjoyable experience.
On the pitch, the USA began their group with comprehensive defeats against Brazil, and then Italy, for whom Giuseppe Rossi scored twice. It seemed that the Americans would be heading home early. But Egypt then upset the Italians 1-0 to throw their group wide open.
Played some really, really difficult teams and kind of got our butts handed to us, you know. And then obviously, because of the way the tournament worked, the two powerhouses had to go head-to-head in the last game, and Brazil had to play Italy, and all sorts of crazy nonsense happened in that game with the score. We needed to get the win against Egypt.
With Brazil beating Italy 3-0 to top the group, victory by the same margin against Egypt meant that the Americans were also through to the semis. There they would face the best team in the world. Spain had cruised through their group. Fernando Torres picked up an 11-minute hat-trick in their opener against New Zealand. And the European champions won 3 out of 3 without conceding a goal.
The cross is good, Torres is there, he's got the hat-trick!
Unsurprisingly, Spain were overwhelming favourites to beat the USA in their semi-final.
At that time, Spain was on a hot streak and they hadn't been beaten in I don't know how many games. And we approached that game with the mentality that, you know, we have nothing to lose. We're definitely the underdogs in this game, and we have everything to gain by leaving it out all out in the field.
Probably the best football moment of my life, you know. On the cusp of getting to a major final, playing Spain, obviously how daunting that is, and #1 in the world, and not having lost in ages, and not as a team playing particularly well in the tournament, you're thinking to yourself, you know what happens here. And just somehow, we caught lightning in a bottle that night.
It's Altidore now, who's shaken his defender well, and Altidore scored! Would you believe it? The United States have taken the lead.
With Spain's attack misfiring and Howard unbeatable in goal, the USA held on to their lead, and Clint Dempsey sealed a remarkable victory.
My favorite memory of that match was when the referee blew the whistle to end the game. We were just dead tired from playing and from defending and, you know, resisting the Spanish attack over and over and over again.
So after losing their first 2 matches of the tournament, the USA were in the final. Which team they'd faced there was yet to be decided. Like the Americans, South Africa had begun their group slowly. They required victory over New Zealand if they were to make the semi-finals.
I remember the coach before the game, Mr. Sultana. He wasn't speaking so good English, so he came into the dressing room and he said to us, if you guys don't win this game today, I'm gonna pack my bags and go back to Brazil. So he made us relax before the game, and we went out and we played really well, and we had a good tournament after that.
The hosts had already ensured that 2009 was a massive success by reaching a semi-final where they would face Brazil, and by giving the world a taste of South Africa.
When South Africans are happy, they always sing. When they're sad, they always sing. So That's yeah, it's part of our culture, and I think it was really a good message to the world to show that yeah, the love and the passion that we have for the sport.
They didn't take one backward step in the match. At the same time, we knew how to wait for the right moment to win the game. Because sometimes it's the detail that means you end up winning a match as difficult as that one.
Dani Alves shot very well and managed to score the winning goal for us. But South Africa still played as equals against Brazil. I think the motivation they had, the determination, their willpower, it transcended technique and tactics.
South Africa also played as equals against Spain in the third-place playoff.
It requires something very, very spectacular. Like that! Just like that! Galego and Pella!
That strike forced extra time, but proved to be a spectacular sign-off by the hosts as Spain took a 3-2 victory thanks to Xabi Alonso. Still, South Africa had made a lasting impression. In the final at Ellis Park, Brazil and the USA put on one of the greatest matches in the history of the tournament.
The United States to apply some pressure here, and it has gone in! Clint Dempsey turns it home!
You're sitting there trying to pinch yourself, thinking, what's going on here? Yeah, okay, the Spain result was one thing, but to go into the Brazil game and be up 2-0, you're half thinking to yourself, when is this volcano going to erupt? You know, like, can we keep them at bay?
It was a difficult game, really complicated. We didn't expect to end the first half 2-0 down, but we did know our potential. We knew that if we managed to play well, we would be able to score and then get a win.
Luis Fabiano! What a response! Barely 40 seconds of the second half played. Brazil mean business.
We did just what we needed to do in the second half. But the USA were hard work. They gave us a real fright.
Now Kaká, the man of Tripoli. Showing that little burst of pace across the face of goal. It's hit the bar and headed in by Luis Fabiano. And Brazil have their equaliser.
6 minutes from time, Brazil's comeback was complete, thanks to their captain.
Something exploded inside me. Just joy, elation. I ran to the corner flag to hug Elano and our teammates as well. The replacements on the bench and the technical staff. It was a magical moment in the national team for me, and a special moment for us all. It was unforgettable.
It's hard when you're in the moment to accept all that. I would imagine that everyone who was a fan of football enjoyed, you know, kind of the spectacle of what the final turned out to be. Their heroic comeback. It's magical in a lot of ways.
Brazil will be determined to follow South Africa in proving that they are ready to host the FIFA World Cup when this year's tournament kicks off. And they will be equally determined to win a 4th FIFA Confederations Cup, because a tournament that began with just 4 teams in Riyadh has come of age.
It's a title, and there's no doubt it will mark the career of anyone who wins it.
Winning it is Mexico's greatest ever achievement.
It's the biggest tournament before a World Cup.
It was absolutely fantastic to be part of this tournament, being among the best teams in the world.
It's a competition that counts today. If you've won it, that's a trophy and an honour to your name.